Hi there, my little Taurian babies. My name is Miss Ape House, and today we are going to do a reading that is messages from your spirit guides. I am a psychic medium. I'm a clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient, claircognizant. I had a near-death experience, and I've always been connected with spirits, so I do call forth your spirit guides for this reading, and I've already done so off camera so that we can just get straight into your reading now. So, Spirit, what would you like Taurus to be aware of? My Taurus, the spirit guides of the Tauruses who are going to be watching this. Okay, so we've got travel is important right now. You might be thinking about traveling. You might be traveling, actually, or you might be planning a trip. And I'm getting that this is a good idea because this is coming out in a spread from your spirit guide. So if you are being called to go anywhere, know that that is definitely something you should look into. So for my Taurus spirit, about this travel, what about this travel for them? Friendship, okay. So right now it's really important to travel, spend time traveling, and I'm getting really lighthearted energy from this. So traveling and connecting with your friends, that is all supposed to be where your energy is at right now. That's where your energy is supposed to be. So let's see, what about this travel and this friendship spirit for Taurus? Patterns, okay. So you're noticing some patterns within your friendships. And you're noticing some patterns perhaps with traveling too. Maybe you travel a lot and you've noticed some patterns about your behaviors when you travel, or you've noticed some patterns of like where you like to go. Or maybe by traveling and by connecting with your friendships, you've realized new patterns about yourself. Okay, so balance. So maybe things are feeling a little off balance with all this traveling and all these friends, and you're starting to notice all these patterns, and it really can be a lot, and Spirit is wanting you to make sure that you can keep a balance on it all, because you're really juggling a lot, I'm getting here, and it's really also bringing up a lot within your conscious mind with these patterns that you're identifying through traveling and friendship. Like, you're gaining more insight about yourself, and you're learning about your own inner patterns, and so that might be a little triggering if there's something that you'd like to maybe work on, you know what I mean? I know it's always hard to realize, like, oh shit, excuse my language, but oh shit, like that, I didn't realize I needed to work on that. I feel like something like that might be what you're going through, and you're really trying to find some balance, because this is a lot. This is quite a lot. With all this travel, with all your friends, with all these things that are coming up, and I'm getting that you have a lot of events going on, and you're really trying to find a balance in it all. And finding a balance within it all is actually really important at this time, your spirit guides are saying. So what about this travel spirit? Let's get one card to clarify travel for Taurus. Okay. The past. So maybe you were traveling a lot in the past and you made a lot of friendships through traveling in the past. Or you're thinking about where you have traveled before and what you have learned from that. Or you're thinking about all your past travels and you're trying to figure out where you want to go now. Let's get one card to clarify friendship. Ooh, the in-between. Okay. So right now you're thinking about your past travels, and you might actually even be in between some friendships because you realize some patterns that really maybe hurt you. patterns and some friendships that weren't the best for you, which is why I'm getting that you're kind of in between friendships right now. Like, not in between friendships, but like in between cycles of friends. Like, I feel like sometimes people who we're connected with in our life, like, we go through cycles with them, you know, and not everybody goes through every cycle with us. And so I feel like you're in between cycles right now. And you're thinking about where you've been in the past and the friends that you've made in the past, and you're thinking about where you want to go and what types of friendships you want to have in the future moving forward. And you're in this void space where you're seeing all these patterns about yourself, and I'm getting it might be a little uncomfortable to be in that void space. Let's give it one card to clarify these patterns for the Taurus who's watching this. Okay, so you've noticed some patterns in the material world. So let's break it down. So you have on your mind, there are some travels that you've done in the past. That's on your mind. Traveling that you've done in the past is on your mind, and certain friendships that you've made are on your mind too. Maybe friendships that you've lost along the way because, you know, you guys are in different locations and you're in between friend cycles right now, and you're also in between travels, I'm getting, and you're realizing a lot of patterns in the material world. You're realizing a lot of patterns about your own material 3D world that you need to find balance with. Okay, so what all are you juggling? What all do you need to find balance with? Let's get one card to clarify this balance, Spirit. Social media. So Spirit might be asking you to balance your social media usage with the balance in the social media to clarify, but I'm also getting that there's something about changing your patterns on social media that might bring you a little bit more balance. And that will be different for each one of you, you know, based off what you've realized. And I'm getting right now is like a really heavy time of contemplation for you. Yeah, you're contemplating a lot. And you're already going through a lot. You're in between the new and the old, and you're thinking about where you've been and where you're going. And you're trying to find your place within the material world. And social media might be making it all the more confusing, because sometimes what you see on social media isn't truth. And so maybe what you need balance with is just making sure you're shielding yourself from people who are throwing you off balance by what you're seeing on their social media, if that makes any sense. I would hope that it does. So yeah, if there's specific people's accounts that are throwing you off balance, Spirit wants you to say, you know, just unfollow them. It's okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. They probably won't even notice. And what matters is what's good for your mental health. We don't have the mental health card here, but I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that contemplation. I'm feeling the mental health. I'm feeling that your spirit guides really want you to be aware of that you're in between cycles right now, so they don't want you to lose hope. Let's get one card to clarify the travel and the past together. How is travel and the past together? Oh. Okay. Transformation. So you're transforming how the ways that you traveled in the past are not going to be the ways that you travel now, and you're trying to transform a situation. Yeah, you're trying to transform a situation so that you can travel differently. maybe more freely. I'm getting, you're transforming. There's a transformation between where you've been in the past and where you're going to be in the future too. So let's get one card to clarify friendship and the in-between together. Two cards. That's too many. Only take one card at a time. And my Taurus says, what is this friendship and this in-between? Okay, so conditioned thinking. And so conditioned thinking is basically, it's passed down thought forms. So it is, we believe what we're told growing up, and those beliefs become part of our core selves. And oftentimes we don't realize until we're a lot older that a certain belief that we have or a certain way of looking at the world we have isn't actually true to ourselves. It's based off of where we've come from, what beliefs we were told to believe. But you are breaking free from that right now, I'm getting, and you're going through a transformation, and you're wanting to travel more freely than you were in the past, and you're wanting to create deeper friendships than you were in the past, and you're in between phases because you realized all these patterns, like some stuff can stay and some stuff can't stay. That's what I'm getting, that you realize from these patterns. So what about these patterns in the material world, Spirit? How do they go together? How do patterns in the material world go together? What about these patterns in the material world for my Taurus? Oh, Taurian babies. Ooh, okay. See, so you're finding your new place within the world because you are a starseed. Okay, so maybe you've always kind of felt a little like the earth wasn't really like your home, like you wanted to travel so that you could try to find that place that felt like home, but I'm getting maybe you never really found that feeling, but you're realizing that's because you're homesick for a place that's not here, that you can't visit here. But so you've realized some patterns that can stay and some that can go because you're ascending to your more higher, to your soul purpose. And all your traveling and all your friendships and all your events that you had going on in the past, that's all transforming, and you're really kind of tuning into like who you are as a starseed. And let's tune into this balance in social media for my Taurus. And we've got technology. I love how clear Spirit is sometimes with its messages. It's like kind of ironic because we've got social media and technology. So Spirit, there is a really big message here about balancing social media and technology use. And I'm getting maybe incorporating less of that. Less social media, less technology is going to help bring you a little bit more balance at this time. But I'm also getting that through using social media and technology in the right ways, you're going to learn a lot more about your starseed origins and what you're meant to be doing here. You're going to figure out what this in between, you're going to figure out everything, these patterns from the conditioned thinking and the patterns are what really I feel like go together. So, I'm going to have to pause the video real quick. I live right by a train and my window's open. Okay, sorry about that. So, let's just re-break it down since I got interrupted with where I was at. So you're transforming how you've traveled in the past. You're changing the way that you relate to your friends, and you're in between the new and the old. And that's because you're breaking down all of the patterns that you were taught when you were young, and you're reevaluating them, and you're creating new beliefs for yourself. And you're finding your own place within the material world with this new understanding of who you are, and you're bringing in balance to your life through actually learning about your starseed origins, and learning more about your spirituality and about who you are is going to bring more balance into your life. Wow. And please, if this resonates, leave a comment and let me know how, because I'm super curious about who this is for and how this message is relating to you. So let's get one card to close out the reading. Spirit, what does the viewer... Oh, that's too many. I thought we had a card, but we didn't. So let's see what you need to be aware of for your highest good. Like, out of everything, what do you need to be aware of right now? Oh, wow. So trust that you are ascending. Trust that this murky phase that you're going through right now is just a murky phase. You're bound to ascend. You're a star seed. You're bound to break free of everything that you thought you once knew. You're bound to transform. You're bound to transform how you traveled in the past. You're bound to transform your friendships. You're bound to transform your patterns and your place in the material world. And you're going to transform your sense of self. You're ascending so high, and I'm so proud of you. You know, waking up to being a starseed and really kind of going down that path is, I'm also a starseed, which is why I made that card. But you know, it's not always the most easy. It's kind of a little, you can feel somewhat alone in it, especially if you don't have anybody in your real life who understands what that feeling feels like. So if that's the case, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk with you about whatever you're going through. So, you know, I have open dialogues with all of my clients. So if you have any questions or anything, just leave it in the comments or shoot me an email. You know, I'd be more than happy to talk with you about your starseed journey. And that is what I have for you today, my friends. And that was your very first reading from me. So more like that was my first reading for Taurus and Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising. And I really look forward to tuning into your energy next time and seeing what your spirit guides have to say about the situation at that time. Okay, but until then, stay strong. Stay strong. Maybe spend some time outdoors. I'm getting, tune into your Taurus self. Spend some time outside, away from the technology. That will help you get really clear on what choices you need to make. Okay? And I don't really know where that came from. That was kind of channeled. So, all right, my dears, I love each and one of you who is here, and I look forward to meeting with you next time. Bye.